On to question number 5, which has been asked by the Honourable Malema. The question is about whether the Deputy President has found the National Prosecuting Authority's decision to review its initial decision not to pursue fraud and perjury charges against him in relation to a political conference in the Northwest in 2022 to be part of a political conspiracy to undermine his political career, and whether, as the chairperson of the Justice, Crime Prevention and Security Cabinet Committee, the Deputy President has any concerns regarding the misuse of state institutions for political purposes. The Honourable Deputy President.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker. I would like to thank Honourable Malema in his absence on this important question. Honourable Deputy Speaker, today marks 29th anniversary since the adoption of the country's constitution. I'm sure honourable members will recall that our constitution was signed on this day, 8th of May, 29 years ago. So this marked a crucial step in our country's transition from apartheid to democracy towards building a non-racial, non-sexist and democratic and united South Africa. Honourable Deputy Speaker, I would like to first affirm the independence and impartiality of our law enforcement agencies and the judicial system. As activists and elected public representatives, we have no authority to interfere with their operations or use our justice system to pursue our personal political interests. We will continue to condemn anyone that continues to use state institutions for their political interests or ambitions without fear or favor. We will also continue to invest in building strong institutions of the state so that they protect the most vulnerable in our society. The matter that Honourable Malema is raising that relates to the issue that is adequately covered in the question is a matter that has already gone through 3 courts, or rather, let me say 3 courts of law. And the latest was the Court of Appeal in the Free State. And of course, the Supreme Court of Appeal dismissed that case. Those, Honourable Deputy Speaker, who still feel that they are not satisfied with the outcome of the Supreme Court of Appeal are allowed to take the matter to the Constitutional Court for further review. This is the beauty of our democracy. So you can go right up to the end. Madam Deputy Speaker, beside being the chairperson of the Justice, Crime Prevention and Security Cabinet Committee, I hold great concerns about any attempt at misuse of state institutions for political purposes. Political interference in the justice system not only undermines our democracy, it erodes public trust, fosters corruption, and may lead to instability. In this regard, the misuse of state institutions for political interests is currently being addressed through the implementation of some of the recommendations of the State Capture Commission, known by many as the Zondo Commission, some of which have already been adopted by this Parliament through the passing of relevant legislation. So in conclusion, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I'm satisfied that these matters, no matter the motives of people, state institution must act at all times without fear or favor in dealing with anyone in the Republic. Not only myself, but all citizens must feel in this country that they are protected by the law and the Constitution. I thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Thank you for the question, Honorable Malema.
The first supplementary question will be asked by the Honorable Malema.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and my apologies to the Deputy President. I was meant to be in London, but Imperialism refused me entry. So hence, I'm not physically there, but I joined online because I understood we're dealing with important issues. Should we be worried that as you go closer to your conference or to the conference of your party, we'll see more abuse of state resources to settle political scores? Because there's been a lot of attempt on your name, even on matters that people can't link directly to you. And anybody who's watching from a distance and who has been a player or an observer in politics will know that once you see this kind of conduct, someone is being pursued to settle political differences or to settle contestation even before it arises. And what will that do to our own democracy? Because once state institutions are used to settle political scores or personal scores, it will undermine the integrity and the standing of our Constitution. Are you not worried that there are signs of abuse of state power as you go closer to our party conference? Thank you.
The Honorable Deputy President.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and thank you to Honorable Malema. As the Deputy President of the Republic, I'll always be concerned if there are signs that there are politicians or public representatives that try to use state institutions for their personal interests, no matter what party. Of course, Honorable Malema wants to know because the ANC is going to a conference in 2027. Are we going to see more problems? The leadership of the ANC, as far as I know, would all be concerned if there was to be such an eventuality. And we will make sure that indeed we must respect the laws. You know, South Africans have rights, irrespective of what political parties they belong to. I know that in this country, people have the rights to participate freely in elections of whatever sorts, in whatever party, without fear that someone will use state institutions against them. So I want to say, Honorable Malema, that we will guard against that. We will guard against that, that it doesn't happen. So my advice to those who are going to conferences from any party, go and contest at the conference. Don't want somebody else to do some work for you. Go there and convince the delegates that you are a suitable candidate to be elected. So as at the party that I represent, I can't speak too much for them in this platform. I'll just say that we will guard against any abuse of state institutions for party political interests. Abantu bakhethwa ama-branch amandla asemasebe. Amandla asemasebe. Thank you, Honorable. Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Malema,
Now,
for the questions. Amandla Asemasebe.
The second supplementary question will be asked by the Honorable Jotetsi.
a ke simolole ka go leboga motlatsa Musa kgotla wa rona wa kokoanopeo molao ya bosetšhaba. Deputy President, given the fact that those who are representing the ANC in government are expected to uphold the highest form of integrity, honesty, and the rest of the ANC value system, what steps has the Deputy President taken to ensure that it clears its name from the cloud of perjury, as it would have been articulated earlier on? Thank you.
The Honorable Deputy President.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Tsotetsi. When there were allegations against me in various newspapers of all sorts, I did appear before the Integrity Commission of the ANC to brief them about the truth. They didn't call me. I went to them and said, there are all these things in the newspapers. I want to brief you about the truth. And they gave me time. I think I spent 5 hours with them. But I was also contacted by the Integrity Commission of Parliament. And I replied to them about the truth. Now, those of you honorable members who might have heard about the case of perjury, which was dismissed by the Supreme Court of Appeal, it's a case that somebody was trying to open against me in Northwest, purporting to be a member of the ANC in some of the branches of the ANC. And this person, of course, was upset that when they tried to overthrow the conference of the Northwest, they lost the case. I was the acting Secretary General at the time. So I had to depose an affidavit on behalf of the NEC. They lost the case. They then lost the case now recently in the Supreme Court of Appeal that was heard by 5 judges. So this case has been dismissed. These very same people then tried to go to the NPA and say, yeah, you know, the ANC won the case because they are acting as G light, and they were also dismissed by the NPA. So I'm sure if they want to pursue it, they will go somewhere else. I don't know where. But because there was no such a thing. No, when you pursue something that is a lie, it doesn't get anywhere. There was no such a thing. I deposed an affidavit on behalf of the NEC, with correct facts, and the NEC won the case, and today they do have a provincial executive committee in the Northwest. So I would like to consider this matter closed, as it was closed by the Supreme Court of Appeal. But if somebody wants to pursue a case of perjury beyond the NPA, I'm sure they can do so. I don't know where they'll go, but there was no perjury at all. The NEC of the ANC did take a decision to defend that case when they wanted that provincial executive to be dissolved. And I was leading the charge at the time. Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker, that's the story. Thank you, Honorable Tsotetsi.
The third supplementary question will be asked by the Honorable Breitenbach.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker. Good afternoon, Honourable Deputy President. Would you agree that the only way to give effect to the constitutional requirement that the National Prosecuting Authority be allowed to perform its duties and functions without fear, favour or prejudice, specifically when it comes to decisions involving people who hold political power, would be to ensure through legislative amendments that the NPA is structurally independent, a constitutional amendment establishing a truly independent process to select and appoint the National Director of Public Prosecutions, and to remove the NPA from the budgetary control of the Department of Justice, and most importantly, establishing a truly independent anti-corruption entity. Would you agree, sir, that this is the only way in which we can ensure that the NPA does not feel and react to political pressure when it makes decisions involving politicians? Thank you.
The Honorable Deputy President.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker and Honorable Breitenbach. As far as I know, the NPA operates freely without fear of any prejudice. I haven't had complaint from them that they are under pressure from someone, because they have a space to operate and make their decisions away from the politicians. If they were to be influenced by the politicians, it will mean they are allowing it themselves, not the law. In terms of the law, they must make their decisions without fear or favor, independently, and operate as they've always done. So I'm not sure what they are scared of, but I haven't heard them saying, we need another institutions where we can be completely independent. They are independent from the executive. The cases that they decide on, they don't wait for the cabinet to say, can we prosecute so and so or so and so? No. They do it themselves. So I'm happy with the current situation. Should Parliament decide that something needs to be done to further strengthen them, that's a different story. But I'm happy that they've got space to do their work, to prosecute or not to prosecute without pressure from anyone, not even the president or the deputy president. They are free to do their work. Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Breitenbach.
The last supplementary question will be asked by the Honorable Nomvalo.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Deputy President, it goes without saying that you have used carefully chosen words to respond to the main question because you are trying to protect the GNU reputation and your position at all costs. However, it is our firm conviction that the political interference in the NPA is the order of the day. This is as a consequence of the current incompetent incumbent in the NPA. Following the above said, do you agree with our firm belief that the current NDPP is easily influenced politically and lacks capacity to supervise prosecutorial work independently and expeditiously? If you do not, kindly give a supporting empirical information to your dissenting perspective.
The Honorable Deputy President.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Nomvalo. I'm not aware of your allegations about the current NDPP. Maybe if I get more evidence, it may assist me. I'm not aware that she behaves like that. There's no need to protect the GNU. All I'm saying is that state institutions must do their work and must do their work without fear or favor. When they do so, we will protect them. Whether there's a GNU or not, we will protect them because that's how the democracy must be strengthened. The institutions of state must operate within the law. They must not seek to place anybody. I'm sure, Honorable Nomvalo, you're relating to the fact that when I was under siege, some of the people who opened a case against me were from the DA. But I've left that to the institutions of the state. If somebody feels that the deputy president not to be charged for this or that, you don't have to be in the GNU or outside the GNU. It must be just because as a citizen of this country, you feel you have a case against any individual. So this matter is not about the GNU. It's a matter that anybody can do. And we must leave it at that. So far, the institutions of state dealing with this matter are dealing with it, and they must be left to deal with these matters, decide on their own what to do. They must not be influenced by us, politicians. We as a GNU must focus on what we have been established for, is to serve the people of South Africa. That's what we must do. We must work together. We've got a statement of intent, and we must make sure that the priority is to grow the economy, create jobs, build a capable and ethical developmental state, and deal with the challenges people are facing, challenges of service delivery, of a high cost of living, and so on. That's what we must focus on, and that's where I'm focusing. Ezinye eziningi sizozibona. Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy President.